try that again. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. Tonight will be a lay-led service by myself and Ellen Simpson. Give us some grace as we have not done this together, but I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic service. Higher. How's that? Way better? Okay, good. All right. So we all come to Shabbat service for different reasons. We might be angry or sad, fearful, guilt, shame, or joy. All is welcome here today. Just take a few moments. You might want to close your eyes. You can leave your eyes open if you would like. I want you to just think about your week. Think about Monday, what was going on Monday, Tuesday, the carpooling you had to do, the errands you had to run. Wednesday, it was really hot out. Thursday, and Friday, you got yourself here. Just a quick reminder that the only bathrooms that are open this evening are in the social hall. So if you need the washroom, the social hall, go around, you'll find them. If you can't find them, somebody will direct you. Okay. You guys ready? So we'll start with our introductory song, which is Hine Matov.
You can find the text on page 10 in your prayer book. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. אוי 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 שבר אחים גם יחד. שבר אחים אוי אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. אוי 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 שבר אחים גם יחד. שבר אחים אוי אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. אוי 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 שבר אחים גם יחד. שבר אחים אוי אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. אוי 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 שבר אחים גם יחד. שבר אחים אוי אחים גם יחד. שבר אחים אוי אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים יחד.
It is my pleasure to invite Cynthia Ellis to lead us in our candle blessing on page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you.
Now I'll do it this way. So this is Michael Stoller. I don't think you introduce yourself. We have Cindy here and Sue Leftwich. I don't know if everybody knows her, so now we know who everybody is. We're going to continue with singing of Lecha Dodi, which can be found on page 20.
Boi kala, pene Shabbat nikabela. Boi kala, boi kala, boi kala. Boi kala, boi kala, pene Shabbat nikabela. Boi kala, boi kala, boi kala. Lecha dodi, nikakala. Pene Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi, nikakala. Pene Shabbat nikabela. Boi kala, pene Shabbat nikabela. Boi kala, boi kala, boi kala. Boi kala, pene Shabbat nikabela. Boi kala, boi kala, boi kala. Lecha dodi, nikakala. Pene Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi, nikakala. Pene Shabbat nikabela. Pene Shabbat nikabela. Pene Shabbat nikabela.
That was nice. We're going to continue with the Baruch Hu on page 28. Please rise.
Am I awake?
Am I prepared?
Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice?
Can you understand?
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la.
Please be seated. Please turn to page 30, and we will read the Ma'ariv Aravim together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakokavim, b'mishperotechem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, umavir yom, umavi layla, umavdil ben yom ben Lila, Adonai Tzavaot Shemo. El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
We continue reading in English at the bottom of page 32. Let's do it together here. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvah, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, we lie down and we rise up. We will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our day. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people, Israel. Baruch Ata Adonai, Ohei Omo Yisrael.
We will continue with the Shema on page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai
Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We will continue on page 36, and I think just for a change, we're going to read the Ve'ahavta instead of chanting tonight. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam livanecha vidibarta bam. Bishivtecha b'veitecha uvleftecha v'aderech uvshach b'cha uvkumecha. Ukshartam laot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot bein einecha. Uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. Lema'an tiskaru va'asitem kol mitzvotai, bitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
We continue reading together on the top. We'll do it on the top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught, wherever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to the promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way that from there except by joining hands, marching together. We continue with the Mi Chamocha on page 40.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha kodesh Nora tehilot Oseh pelech Chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nehtar b'kodesh Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nehtar b'kodesh.
We continue at the top of page 43. Let's read together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeis sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim.
And we will continue on page 44 with Vashamru. Let's see what tune it's going to be. There are so many good ones.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat Ledorotam brit olam Vishamru La'asot et ha-Shabbat Ledorotam brit olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael Oti le'olam Ki sheshet yamim Asa Adonai, Asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'inafash Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat Ledorotam brit olam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night, and eternity utters a day. Eternity utters a day. Adonai, Svatai, Svatai Tifta, Ufi Yagite Ilatecha. Adonai, Svatai, Svatai Tifta, Ufi Yagite
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avotenu V'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Ha'Kol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham B'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei Metim Atah Rav L'Hoshia Morid Hatal Mechalkel Chaim B'chesed Mechayei Metim Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Memid Umechaye Umasmiya Yeshua V'ne'emanat HaLachayot Metim Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei HaMetim Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh Ukdoshim B'chol Yom Yahalucha Selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
You please may be seated.
We continue to read responsibly at the top of page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
we will continue on page 58. In the middle, we think we'll read the Moadim Anachnu Lach in English together. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one whose mercies never end, O compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. We're going to go on to page 60, and we're going to sing Shalom Rav. And then we will have a few minutes of silent meditation after that.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon, lecho hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon, lecho hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. יה לה 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 לה, יה לה לה לה, יה לה 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 לה, יה לה 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 לה, יה לה 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 לה, יה לה לה לה, יה לה 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 לה, יה לה 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 לה. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. ואמרו אמן.
Lovely. Okay, we are going to continue now with the Torah service on page 246. It's going to be the abbreviated version, correct? So I'm going to go get the Torah.
Al Shoshan Devarim, Al Shoshan Devarim, Al Shoshan Devarim, Haolam Haolam Omen. Al Shoshan Devarim, Al Shoshan Devarim, Al Shoshan Devarim, Haolam Haolam Omen. HaTorah le'al ha'avodah le'al gemilut hasadim. HaTorah le'al ha'avodah le'al gemilut hasadim. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtakavu le'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtakavu le'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtakavu le'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtakavu le'har kodsho.
You may be seated. So, the Torah portion this week is called Pinchas. It's got a bunch of different things in it. The children of Israel are this close to the promised land. They had to have one more fight with people who were standing in their way, the Midianites. And then they have to have another census. And I know it's another one because both of my granddaughters, this year and 2 years ago, had the Torah portion about 6 weeks ago, where there was the first census, and it lists family after family after family after family after family. Again, there are like sentences and sentences and sentences and sentences and sentences in this portion about who's there. The purpose of the census is because once they get to the promised land, the land will be given to families per how big their family is, right? So they have to know that. And something very extraordinary then happens after the census. And I didn't get a chance to study the Torah portion long enough that I could learn it without the vowels, because I just got asked a week ago to lead services. But I will read some of it with the vowels. I'll put it right here so you'll never know. But then I would like to read this one particular portion in English because it is just fabulous, okay? So, with that, Ta'amod, Miriam bat Avraham v'Yehudit, Ta'amod. Be on that side. Okay.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach. Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Vatik Ravna Benot Salafachad Ben Chaper Ben Gilad Ben Makir Ben Manasseh Lamish Pachot Manasseh Ben Yosef Ve'ela Shemot Benotav Machla Noah V'chagla Umilka V'tirza. Now I'm going to skip a sentence and then I'll read one more. Avinu mate Bamidbar V'hu lo haya benot ha'eda ha'noadim al Adonai ba'adat korach ki v'cheto mate uvinim lo hayu lo.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Now I'm going to read the English.
Yeah, sure.
So this is, thank you.
Want me to stay or go?
Sure, whatever you like. Stay, this is so good. So, so they've done the census. The daughters of Zelophehad, a Manassite family, son of Chefer, son of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, son of Joseph, came forward. The names of the daughters were Mala, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. They stood before Moses, Eleazar the priest, the chieftains, and the whole assembly at the entrance of the tent of the meeting, and they said, quote, "Our father died in the wilderness. He died for his own sin. He left no sons. Let not our father's name be lost to his clan just because he had no sons. Give us a holding among our father's kinsmen." Pretty audacious, huh? So Moses brought this case before Adonai. And Adonai said to Moses, this is coming straight from the Torah, quote, "The plea of Zelophehad's daughters is just. You should give them a hereditary holding among their father's kinsmen. Transfer their father's share to them. Further, speak to the Israelite people as follows, saying, quote, if a householder dies without leaving a son, you shall transfer his property to his daughter. If he has no daughter, you shall assign his property to his brothers. If he has no brothers, you shall assign his property to his father's brothers. If his father has no brothers, you shall assign his property to his nearest relative in his own clan, who shall inherit it. And this shall be the law of procedure for the Israelites in accordance with Adonai's command to Moses. Sounds pretty awesome, right? In a little bit, I'm going to share some modern rabbis' thoughts on what this means, even beyond the obvious. Okay? Good.
And I have a beautiful picture book at home. with
Do you?
The story.
Excellent.
I would have brought it tonight.
Excellent, if you would know. All right, and so we have the Torah in our midst. We will now think about the people in our congregation who need to be healed in body, in mind. Here's the list. Here it is. Okay. So we are thinking this evening of the following people who are ill and in need of healing. We think of Rabbi Bruce Goldwasser, who was an early rabbi of this congregation, Rabbi Fred Wenger, Arnold Zahn, James Koenig, Arthur Lang, Nilesh Mehta, John Eulenberg, Clara Williams, Joe Moser, Sonia Maria Reimar Miller, Carol Pretnar, Denise Fleischer, Melissa Bullman, Frederick Bryan, Rachel Bacchio, Marion Koenig, Celia Rodee, Jay Field, and Evan Georgie Johnston, and all others who suffer, whom we do know not by name. Misha Ber, I don't know if I've ever read this in Hebrew. Misha, other than singing it. Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Ve'imotenu, Sarah Rivcha Rachel V'Leah, Hu Yivarech V'Rifei Et Kol Cholei Yisrael V'Yishlach Lahem B'Mim Heira Refuah Shleima Refuah HaNefesh Refuah Haguf V'Ne'emar. Amen. Okay, now let's sing it because it will sound much better.
Yisheberach Avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Yisheberach imotenu mikor habracha lamotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
I'd like to invite up Simon Ellis and Stephanie DeKaiser due to the prayer for America on page 258 and the prayer for Israel on page 259.
This one? O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen.
O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread it over the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Our service will continue on page 256 as we return the Torah to the Ark.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. Eitz chaim hi l'machazikim ba v'tomchecha מאושר דרכך דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיך shalom. The Torah is a tree of life to them that hold it fast, and all of its supporters are happy. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. It's Chaimi. It's Chaimi. L'machazikim ba v'tomchecha me'ushar d'rachecha darkei noam v'chol netivotecha Shalom.
You may be seated. So, to think a little bit more about these audacious girls, here they come before the all-male leadership of the Israelites, and they demand their right to inherit their father's portion of the promised land. And they explain why, and they ask, should our father's name be lost just because he has no son? Now, it probably didn't look very good for them. You know, they didn't have a male relative who was speaking on their behalf. They thought perhaps they would be dismissed or denied. They were orphans. They were unmarried women. You know, they didn't carry a lot of status. But Moses brought the case before God, and God responded affirmatively. The plea of Zelophehad's daughters is just. So this appears to be a feminist victory, right? But scholars, not just modern scholars, ancient scholars, have asked this question. Well, if their plea is just, why wasn't the law of inheritance written to include daughters in the first place, right? So some modern Israeli women scholars have been writing on this, and here are a couple other answers to that question. So One asks God, well, if Zelophehad's daughter spoke the truth, why didn't you write that in your Torah in the first place? For after all, you are truth, the Torah is truth, and your word endures forever. A little snotty, a little. God answered, there is truth that descends from on high, and there is truth that grows from below. Blessed is the generation in which truth from above meets truth from below. And in fact, there is a psalm, Psalm 85, verse 12, that says, truth will grow from the ground and justice will look down from heaven. So that, in other words, the purpose of this passage is not just to correct the injustice towards these 5 women, it is to preserve a record of the process of adapting divine law to responding to emerging human circumstances. So it's really so apt for today, right? Right? It lifts up a moment, I'm just reading from what this rabbi, what is her name? Leah Berkowitz. It says, it lifts up a moment in which a leader encounters a marginalized group of people. The leader hears their story and considers or reconsiders existing laws because of their experience. Hello, do we need people in Washington maybe hearing this right now? It illustrates a leader's ability to respond to a new scenario and admit that there are situations and groups of people that they perhaps have not previously accounted for. Next week, the Parsha is called Matot Masai, and this topic, they come back to this topic because the menfolk come back with a little bit of a kvetch, because they say, well, if the women marry men from different tribes, then their father's landholding might pass to the tribes of their husband's family, thus diluting their family's holding. And God, again, instructs Moses to amend the law again. So they're just getting ahead, saying, the daughters must marry within their tribe so that their inheritance will not pass from one tribe to another. And so she writes, as modern readers, we might be disappointed by this limitation placed on the women's choice of partners. But the second passage illustrates yet another part of the change process, that you have to weigh different values, different needs, different priorities. You have to innovate when possible and make compromises when you have to. It says everyone in this case wants the same thing, for Zelophehad's land to stay within the tribe, for his name to be remembered, for the daughters to have economic security following his death. So the men are made to compromise by having the tribal law passed to the women, but the women are made to compromise by saying they have to marry within the tribe. And so 2 other lady rabbis, Lisa Edwards and Rabbi Jill Zimmerman, point out that this story shows us that even within the Torah itself, lawmaking is an inexact science requiring flexibility to change as issues arise and society evolves. Amen, right? I was so excited because last week's Torah portion is Balak. I've had that Torah portion numerous times. I can never make head or tail out of it. It makes me so crazy. I wouldn't have led services if it was that. So I was so excited to have something that was really meaty, right? I thought it was really terrific. All right, with that, teaching sermon. All right, we're going to sing a song called Or Zaruach. I don't know what page it is.
So Ellen doesn't realize what a pun she just made about Balak, saying she couldn't make head nor tail out of it. Yeah. The donkey.
He is a donkey. Right? The donkey's yes.
Was pin the tail on Balak.
It was.
So please turn in your prayer book to page 343. So together, Sue and I are going to share a new melody with you for this text, Or Zaruah. This is a regular part of our Friday night Kabbalat Shabbat Psalms that we use to welcome Shabbat in. And it says, light is sown for the righteous, joy for the upright. This melody comes to us from a renewal congregation in Jerusalem known as Nava Tehillah. This is Or Zarua. Or Zarua la Tzadik, Yisrael Simcha. 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 Or Zarua, Or Zarua, Or Zarua la Tzadik, Yisrael Simcha. Or Zarua, Or Zarua, Or Zarua la Tzadik, Yisrael Simcha. 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 Or Zarua, Or Zarua, Or Zarua la Tzadik, Yisrael Simcha. Or Zarua, Or Zarua, Or Zarua la Tzadik, Yisrael Simcha. Yisrael Simcha. Yisrael Simcha.
Oh, that was beautiful. Do we have a board member? Are you the board member? Well, all right, I'm reading. Easy. Shabbat Shalom. I'm here representing me, Ellen Simpson. Here are some announcements. Thank you to us for leading services. Thank you to our greeter, Ken Siegel, and the security team. Thank you to Cindy and Sue for such beautiful music and such beautiful harmony. I cannot do harmony. I would always drift to one of the melody, and I would have to be like this. Constant. Oh, that was so beautiful. The office has been closed all week, but it's going to be open on Monday again. There will be a dinner in the lot, not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, July the 18th. Join us for a build-your-own taco bar dinner from a place called Taco Shop, and a brief discussion on Jewish spirituality. And for more information on coming events, check out the Happenings email that comes out once a week. We're going to have an oneg after services, so please join us for that. And with that, Michael is going to finish us off.
It's my pleasure to invite Diane Johnson to the Bema to open our ark. Our service is to continue on page 262 with the Elenu. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated.
ונאמר בחי אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Oh, I'm doing it. Fine and dandy. Oh. Here we go. Okay, page 295, everybody. 295. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. Zichronam levarechecha, may their memories be for a blessing. The Kaddish list for tonight, we remember Herbert Glassman, father of Ken Glassman, Burton Jackowitz, brother-in-law of Joel Bernstein, Edith Moss, mother of Brenda Feinberg, Nathan Wolochuk, father-in-law of Cecile Wolochuk, grandfather of Cheryl Bogalub, Louis Geller, grandfather of Cecile Wolochuk, Henrietta Lehman, mother of Wendy Yellen, Renee Tickman, mother of Richard Kirsch, Bernard Blumenstein, grandfather of Brian Blumenstein, Melvin Farber, father of Neil Farber, Sigmund Kirschbaum, grandfather of Gerald Kirschbaum, Cheryl Hildebrand, mother of Shannon Selbert, grandmother of Rianne Keaton and Alistair Selbert, Samuel Simcha Kaplan, grandfather of Rabbi Stephen Bob, Haima Jacobs Levin, sister of George Jacobs, Esther Friedman, mother of Shyla Lux, Esther Stoller, mother of Scott Stoller, Harriet Shiraga, and Morton Solomon. So we will join together as one community for the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Please rise. Yitgadal v'kadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaye chon u'v'yomei chon, u'v'chaye dekol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam omei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yishpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudashah b'richu. Le'elal minkir birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabba min Shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen.
Ve'imru amen. Ve'imru amen. Ve'imru amen. Ve'imru amen.
Please be seated. Okay, we're coming to our concluding song. We're going to sing Shir Chadash, which is on page 344. Before we go, have some noshing in the social hall. We will sing our blessings here. Okay? Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam,
borei
peri hagafen.
Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadsho be'ahava uvratzon hinkilanu zikaron l'maaseh bereshit ki hu yom tehillah l'mikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu b'charta ve'otanu kidashta michol ha'amim b'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen. Have a sip. Okay, and we say to my husband Harvey, Chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim. Okie doke.
Here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avon. Shabbat shalom, everybody. It's so wonderful to have everybody here. And Marcy's going to take this and cut it because we do not tear anymore. It was great to have everybody here.
Glad you liked it. Thank you.